Okay, we are operating at a C minus level today. Hopefully, most of my viewers are on mobile anyway, so you don't really care about like probably the 480p camera. I did make an effort to actually plug in my microphone here. I'm having the Amy Winehouse issue, except instead of eyeliner, it's the lip liner, and I just can't get it even on both sides, and it just kept making my lips bigger and bigger, and then eventually I was just like, girl, stop. My hair is wet. My energy is about a 2 out of 10, but we are doing this today. All right. Hi, everybody. The last time I did an update video was about 9 months ago, back in the summer of 2020. And boy, did a lot happen in the last 9 months. I've been away from YouTube for about 2 months now, and I wanted to come online and let you know what's been going on. Where have I been? Why haven't I been posting that much on YouTube? I've actually been pretty active in other areas, but I'm going to get into that as quickly as possible today. I have tried to make this video a couple of times in the past, but I ended up being a little bit too emotional and scrapping those videos because I really don't want to be like soliciting pity or creating drama or anything. So I'm just going to speak perfunctorily today. No song and dance, no special effects. I'm just at the point where producing anything is probably better than nothing. So for the last 9 months, my life has been customer service and emails, 12 to 16 hours a day. I have 2 roommates that, they do their own cooking, but apart from that, I'm just constantly cleaning up after them. Sometimes I feel like they're deliberately making messes to drive me crazy. I don't like to say I've been struggling with time management because there really just aren't enough hours in the day, and I've been sleeping like 5 hours a day, and all the rest of the time I'm shoveling the snow and doing chores and doing my admin work. And when I do get 1 hour to myself, which might be like once every 2 weeks or something, I just don't have the energy to put on makeup and make myself presentable and turn on my personality and make a video. So I do suffer from winter blues. So December and January tend to be the worst for that, where I'm fairly low on energy. But doing like customer service emails, like that is just kind of like a low energy thing for me. If I were on the phone or doing videos, that's a completely different story. Oh, right. I nearly forgot. I got married 3 months ago. So I made a big long post about that on Patreon. If anybody is a member there, I have the story on there. I'm probably not going to be too vocal or too public about it. But on to other things. Since the start of the pandemic, but especially in the last couple of months since the Bridgerton craze, there's been an explosion of interest around reproduction clothing, like historical reproduction, history bounding, costumers, etc. Costume collars moved online last year and all this. And so I've seen a very quick rise in popularity of costumers. And I kind of smile wistfully about that because 10, 12 years ago, I was a cosplayer, and I hesitate to say like before it was cool. No, I just can't sew anymore. And since my car accident in late 2014, so it's now been more than half a decade, I have found it excruciatingly painful to sew. Most of it is because I am looking down. And if you think that my camera right now is like hitting almost MySpace level, like angles, because I'm looking up at the camera, which apparently is a very millennial thing, I've been told, it is because I can almost never look down for more than like a minute or 2 at a time without it becoming painful for me. So I completely acknowledge that for the past few years, I have been promising that sewing tutorials will come back. Corset making tutorials will come back eventually. But I've been pushing that off and off and off. And because of the lockdowns, I have not been able to seek the help I need with physiotherapy, and I've stopped my massage therapy. I've stopped like the chiropractic because of the lockdowns. So I don't want to be yanking anybody's chain and saying to people that yes, sewing tutorials will eventually come back, because I honestly don't know with my physical limitations and also my limitations on time. So at this point, it's probably easier to tell people that sewing tutorials are not coming back, and then later on, if and when I'm able to actually get the help I need and improve the situation with my neck, I can be just like, surprise, here's a tutorial. And so people will be pleasantly surprised as opposed to being continually disappointed. But also, I've been feeling lately that I might not be the right person to be making these tutorials in the first place. Back when YouTube was, this baby platform and there weren't that many crafters around, I was able to get away with it. But honestly, like, that work was pretty bad. Apart from one course in high school, I am almost completely self-taught. For sewing, I have no formal training or education in history or costume making or clothing or fashion design. There are a lot more people on the platform now who is able to give like higher quality advice, better training, and they also have more expensive cameras and higher production quality. So there's that as well. Whereas I have sort of been using the same camera that I purchased back in like 2011, and I've sort of been stumbling my way through. Now, maybe my version of just this, girl next door type of tutorials is a little bit more approachable for some people, because if they're bad at sewing, they don't feel bad about like my tutorials. It really is a case of if I can do it, anybody can. My training is in like biochemistry and microbiology. I have training in physiology and anatomy, which is why I'm able to pattern anatomical style corsets, not necessarily historical style, but anatomical contemporary corsets. And I've not said anything directly about my slowly phasing myself out of the costuming and sewing communities in the past year or so. But some people have noticed that I'm no longer in like the Foundations Revealed group, and basically it just came to, I was no longer able to afford their subscription, and I felt like I was not making the most of their value. It's not to say that Foundations Revealed is not a good return on investment, but I was just not able to make the most out of what they were offering because of my physical limitations, and that I just don't have the time to sew anymore. And we will wait for the snowplow to pass by. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, anyway, so with the rise of costumers and people who are professional costume makers and professional historians making amazing quality videos, I'm not in the cool kids club, and I have been suffering from imposter syndrome a little bit. So I have been a little bit quiet, I guess, to see where I wanted to focus with my own channel and to make room for them. Not to say that I was suppressing their content at all, but it's just a big craze right now, and I didn't really have anything to contribute, I suppose. But when I really think about it, it's been like half a decade since I have really deviated from the sewing tutorials and like the costumer group and all that. So my channel is mostly focused on contemporary corsetry, not historical. I come from a STEM background, which is not very sexy, and I'm repeating myself now, so let's just move on to something else. I don't think STEM is anything to be ashamed of. I just think it's kind of an awkward place to position myself within the corsetry community. Okay, so the first reason that I was away was because of my life just being admin and customer service and emails all day, every day, and also the wedding planning. So solution, well, the wedding is finished. My ring, I'm married. Solution 2 for the time investment. This January, I hired my first virtual assistant, and she's right now like helping me update my website so it doesn't look like a barren, abandoned domain because there are pages on there that I have not updated in years, and so she's helping me update those resources. But anybody who messages or emails me, they are directly talking to me, so I just want to get that out there. There are no customer service agents that are pretending to be me and using my signature. And oh my gosh, my first assistant, she is a miracle worker. She's only working 5 hours a week right now because that's all I can afford to pay her for right now. But because of her, I have the time to actually make this video this week. So thank you so much. The second reason that I've been away is because everybody is all like, history bonding, yes! And I'm like, can't relate. And the third reason, at the risk of just sounding excessively whiny in this video, but at least I'll get it out all at once and then I never have to mention it again. The third reason is because engagement is dead on YouTube. The algorithm has not been kind to me over the last couple of years, and so it just makes me really disenchanted, and it discourages me from making videos, which means that the algorithm punishes me even more. And now, like I have friends on Facebook that I might talk with, or like they might interact with my posts like once a week, and they have no idea that I've made a single video in the last 2 years. They've been subscribed to me for over 10 years now. By the way, guys, last October my channel turned 10 years old. That was like 10 years since my very first video was uploaded. I did not have a celebration because reasons, but I'll be talking about that later. But yeah, people have been subscribed to me for a really long time, and they have not been getting my videos in their subscriber feed. So if you are one of those people, please click the bell if you want to be notified of my next video, which, you know, fingers crossed will actually be next week, not 2 months from now. But yeah, the algorithm has not been very nice. I would estimate that YouTube is only showing my videos to 5 to 10% of my actual subscriber base, and maybe 3 to 4% will actually click on the video. So honestly, I get better engagement from my newsletter mailing list for my website. So that's where I've been the last few months. I release a newsletter once every week or every couple of weeks, giving like news in the corset community and the new resources on my website and all that. So if you want to join my mailing list, it's free. You just need an email address, and I'll put it down in the description below. Yeah, so making a YouTube video takes 5 times more work and time investment, and it feels like I am shouting into the void a lot of the time. So it really doesn't encourage me to make videos all that often, but I'm giving it another shot. So if all goes to plan, I will be making more videos, hopefully once a week. If not once every 2 weeks. And so what I have to share with you, let's just cover up the address here. So this is a surprise wedding gift from Wild Rose Atelier. Rebecca from Wild Rose Atelier is a corset maker out in Ottawa, and I know theoretically what is inside here, but she has posted it on her own social media. I have quickly scrolled past those pictures because I didn't want to ruin the surprise for myself, but the unboxing is coming up next week, and I am so excited. I have a hair video coming up. I have a treadmill desk update coming up because I know I have gotten a ton of followers specifically about my treadmill desk. Fast Foundations is coming back as a call-in show. I am so excited about that. And I'm going to kind of step out of the corset and long hair box, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I lost my toenail last year and how I was able to grow it back in less than 6 months. Because honestly, I don't want to put myself in a box anymore, and if people don't like other videos where I deviate from the whole corset thing, then you just don't know how to click on it anymore. But I want to be able to enjoy making content again, so I'm going to talk about how I lost my toenail, and I'm going to share announcements like the eBay page. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit excited and ahead of myself here, so apologies. But about 6 months ago, I made a new page on my website called eBay Finds, and I made another post on Patreon about how I basically go digging through the depths of eBay to find good quality corsets at amazing prices. So that's on Patreon. But the eBay page is available for anybody to view at any time, and I normally update it once a week. So this is a corset manufacturer, Tomto Berlin. So you can see the official label right there. So this is normally $500, and I got it for $50. And as well, I found a vintage dark garden piece. This is normally over $1,200 new, like the Silk Sweetheart overbust design, and I got this for about 100. So I'm finding like higher echelon corset brands from independent corseteers or well-established corset makers at like 90% off on eBay. So I've been doing the eBay spelunking for years, and it got to the point where I'm just like, well, if I'm already on here spending the time anyways, then whenever I come across a corset that might not necessarily be to my taste or in my size, but I think is a good deal, I can just throw it up on the page and see if anybody else is interested in it. So that's what I started doing it. And I tested it out with my newsletter for the past 6 months, and it's going okay. So I'm going to test it out with another 6 months. I'm going to tell you all about it so that my entire audience knows and not just a small segment of it. And if it's successful, then I will keep it around. If it's not successful, then I'll pull the page down this summer. I have other announcements. I'm updating all the galleries on my site and making sure that the resources are up to date, updating the Corsetry map, and putting new corsets on corset database, as well as I have started making little Lucy bots. So basically the Lucy bots are, I have tried to faithfully replicate my method of sizing prospective customers for different corsets in my shop. And so hopefully this will sort of cut down on the number of sizing inquiries that I do, because I as much as I love to correspond with you all, I can't do the 16 hours a day in front of a computer anymore. I want to film. I want to do other things with my life. I actually want to like cook something more than frozen pizza. So, Lucy bots, yay! And so I'll talk all about that in more detail in a future video, but this has gone on for long enough. And so it is now February and the bad months are gone and the sun is coming back, and apparently so am I. I'm coming back to YouTube. So thank you all for joining me to the end of this very long video, and I will see you all next week. Bye.